All right, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are joining us from. I believe every one of you can hear me loud and clear. Please, if you can hear me, let me see a yes on the chat. Please, if you can all hear me, let me see a yes on the chat to confirm if I am audible. Awesome, awesome. All right, so I welcome you to this amazing session tonight, whereby I am Coach Mo by name, and I'll be taking you through on two things tonight. The first thing will be market structure. Okay, actually, market structure is not supposed to be part of what I'm supposed to show you guys tonight. But something happened yesterday, and there was a question asked by one of our members that said, is there any way I can avoid floating loss? And the truth is that it is not possible. So I just want to show you guys some things you need to know for those who don't know. And for those who know, just still listen and learn something tonight, okay? But the main topic for tonight is going to be understanding the RQTMI Excel template. Okay, and that is the first thing you need to know before you start trading with your boats using the RQTMI style of trading. Remember, every team members have their own unique way of trading, but RQTMI also have their own unique style of trading. So whichever team you are using, please ensure you stick to that team and make use of their trading strategy. Please give me a second. Give me a second while I share my screen. Just give me a second, please. Okay, please, if you all can see my screen, let me see a yes on the chat. If you all can see my screen, I am sharing my computer screen. If you all can see, please let me see a yes on the chat. All right, like I said, what I am about to show you guys this evening is not part of what I was to teach you guys, but because of the question one of us, a member, asked yesterday, that is the reason I said, let me show you guys this thing so that you will know how the market works. It seems a lot don't know about this, but for those who know, like I said, just sit back and learn something new tonight. So the first is going to be market structure. And the reason for this topic is because I want you guys to understand how the market moves. Any coin you are trading on RoyalQ, they always have the way they move. And it is due to decision making of traders. This is a market that comprises of different types of traders trading with different types of strategies. So the market must also react based on how people react to the market, the decision making of the traders. So now this is it. I want to talk about this first before we look into other things. I believe you know that when a price of a coin is going up, it always goes up this way. Please, somebody is writing on the screen. Please stop that if you are the one doing so. I think I need to disable annotation. Let me do that quickly. Let me disable this. Okay, I will do this. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to disable this annotation. All right. Okay, perfect. All right, so the market moves this way. When the market is on an uptrend, remember what we do here is buy low, sell high. We buy low and sell high with RoyalQ. That is what we do here with the boat to make money for ourselves. So when the market is on an uptrend, there it goes this way: up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. This is called impulse move. The up is called an impulse move, and then when it comes down, it is called a corrective move. Goes up again, an impulse move. So it must go up and down, up and down, up and down. But I want you to know something. In this impulse movement, in between it, there is also an up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down movement coming up. When it is correcting now, a corrective move, it also goes up, goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down. This is how it moves. All these are called internal structure. Why the ones you see here I drew out is called the external structure. These ones, external structure. And something happens again in the market. When there is an uptrend, a price is going up. The reason why you see a price will just drop down, it is not just dropping down. It is dropping down for a reason. What is that reason? The reason is to come and collect people's order, which is liquidity. You can see why I call this liquidity. You can see it was going up, going down, going up, going down, going up, going down. Instead of going down and going up, it came down again to take out all this liquidity you see here. People's order, people who placed a buy order, it will come and peak. After it picks up their order, it continues going up. This is how the market behaves. So whenever there's an uptrend, there must be a downtrend. It is a must. The market is designed to work that way because people are buying and people are selling at the same time. And as you can see, like I said here on this diagram, we have a higher high, a higher low. So when it is going down like this, this is called a higher low. If it goes up, it's called a higher high. Goes down, it's called a higher low. Goes up, it is called a higher high. Higher low, higher high, higher low. This is how an uptrend moves. Now, let me show you this next diagram. So you can see this is an uptrend move and this is a downtrend move. Like I said, when a price is on an uptrend, you see price pumping, it will not just keep on pumping. It must come down to take liquidity, to take people's order before it continues moving up. You can see goes up again, came down again, take people's liquidity, orders to go back up. This is how the market moves. Then for the market to change trend from uptrend to downtrend, another thing must happen. It will come again and break this higher low to continue moving downtrend. And when it is moving downtrend again, it will go up to take people's orders again to push it down. So the market is like this. You cannot avoid floating loss. So when you see a price, maybe you enter a coin or you enter a trade, and the trade, instead of going to your direction of position, it kept on going down. It must go up. It has a reason. The reason is for the price for the coin to go pick up people's orders before it changes direction to an uptrend. So no matter how long it takes, you are experiencing a floating loss, it's taking your trade to sell, just remain patient. It will sell. This is how the market is meant to be. The reason why you also see us, sometimes we pick signals and drop signals. We drop those signals intentionally so that you will make some money downtrend. Because we know, yes, we saw something, that is why we pick that trade. And we know that with Ryokyu, you enjoy trading with ease, because even when the price is on a downtrend, those your margin calls are already waiting patiently to trigger. So it will make you money to a certain level downtrend before the market will reverse back up and hit the take profits. Please, are you guys with me? If you are all understanding what I'm saying and I am making a point here, please let me see 111 on the charts. If I am making a point here and you all understand what I'm saying, let me see a 111 on the chart. Please, I need more of the 111 to be sure everybody is on the same page with me. Awesome. So now that you know how the market moves, whatever you are facing with your trades, if you're expressing floating loss, please, it is part of the market. The market must do its thing. And one should be cautious of anyone claiming to have a foolproof formula for predicting the crypto market cycles. There is nothing like a foolproof formula that I have the best strategy. There's nothing like that. The market is all about probability. You do your analysis, okay, yes, it will go this way. Before going that way, it might come down first before going up. It is all probabilities. That is why we should be very, very happy we came across this wonderful boat called RoyoQ. While technical analysis and historical data can provide valuable insights, they are by no means guarantees of future performance. Take note about that. I just don't know how God can bless the developers of RoyoQ, because they've made trading very easy for us and for us to be able to manipulate all these things happening in the market. The reason why when somebody says, I am a trader, I think I don't need RoyoQ because I can trade manually myself on Binance, I'll just laugh. You don't know the power of RoyoQ. That is why you are saying this. Whether you're a professional trader, when the market deal with you, you understand, especially those who trade futures. I even see a lot of crypto and forex influencers. I call them influencers because you see them editing fake screenshots just to deceive people. Please, guys, be careful. Stick with RoyoQ because RoyoQ has all you need. All you just need to do is to understand the business and how the robot works. All right, so that'll be all for this market structure. This is just a tip of market structure. I just want to show you guys some little things you need to understand so that I'll be able to answer that person correctly why I said there's no way you can avoid floating loss. It is part of this business. Trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is not. Don't let all those influencers out there online, flashy things online, deceiving people. Trading takes time. Give yourself 3 to 5 years if you really want to be successful in trading. All right, now let's head back to understanding the Architema Excel template. Please permit me to share my phone screen because I want to do that on my phone. Just give me a second, please. Okay, I'm about to do that now. Okay, please, if you can see my screen, let me see a yes on the chat. If you all can see my screen, let me see a yes on the chat. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so as you all can see on my screen, we have what we call the WPS Office. Now, this is an app you need to install on your phone. The reason for this app is to help you navigate easily on the Excel sheet, the Architema Excel sheet, because it is an Excel sheet, but you need this app. Why? Because without this app, you won't be able to edit where you have to edit to put in your capital on the Excel. So please install this app for Android users and iPhone users. So let me assume you all have this app on your phone, but for those who don't have, please quickly do so and install on your phone. Then you can request for the file if you don't have access to the file on the group where you got the Zoom link from. Now, I already have this Excel opened on my phone, and this is how it looks. This is how it looks. When you are here, check at the top. You'll find some tabs at the top. Now, on the top of my screen, you can see we have dashboard. We have the Architema Magic Wand. You can swipe to your left and swipe to your right to easily move across those settings you're seeing on my screen. But let's look at the dashboard first. And let us look at the dashboard. For those who can't see where I'm referring to, this is where I am referring to, all these places you see here. You can move to your left, to your right to swipe. amongst those tabs you see at the top. All right, so let's look at the dashboard. On the dashboard, you can see we have RQTMI Magic 1 down to Magic 8. But please take note, what we are going to be looking into tonight is just the Magic 1, Magic 1, Magic 3, and Magic 5. I repeat, Magic 1, Magic 3, and Magic 5. And we are using one shot because one shot means a one-time trade. We have two types of ways to trade with RioQ bots, one shot or Seku. Seku means autopilot, but please, if you must use Seku, you need to know the minimum capital for that, which we have minimum capital for that. But for the one shot trading style, you need a minimum of $100 to trade with one shot. And one shot means a one-time trade, meaning if you set your robots and it picks up for you, somebody will say, but I thought RioQ will be the one trading for you. Yes, it is the one trading for you, but it is called a semi-automated bot. The reason it is being called a semi-automated bot is that you have to give it a set of command, a set of instructions. It is that instructions give it to the robot that it will be making use of to trade for you. Once your trade is up and running, you don't need to do any other thing because the robot will take over from you and monitor the trades for you, sell for you until it leaves the trade, it sells completely and leave the market. That is how RioQ has been designed to operate. So these settings you're seeing here is what I want to teach you how to generate from this Excel, save it on your RioQ, and use the settings to trade. And your capital matters. Your capital will determine which of the settings among these three I mentioned, Magic 1, Magic 3, and Magic 5, you are going to be using. So please pay attention. Don't worry, this session is being recorded for those who joined late so that you can rewatch to understand better from the beginning when I started. And if you check by my right, we have what we call covers for 30% dip, covers for 60% dip. But let's take a look at number 1, which is the RQTMI Magic 1, RQTMI Magic 3, and RQTMI Magic 5. You can see for Magic 1, it covers for 30% dip. Magic 3 covers for 25% dip, and Magic 5 covers for 50% dip. What does this mean? Some people will ask, what does this mean? Now, I will explain. Remember, I showed you guys on the market structure that before an uptrend or before an impulse move, there must be a corrective move. It must come down before going up. Let's assume your robot starts to trade for you. Before the price we get to that, your take profit, let's say you are taking profit at 3%. When the price gets to 3%, because remember, we are buying low to sell high here. We are not using leverage, whereby if the trade goes against your way, it will take you out and you lose money. There's nothing like this here. This is spot trading. That is why you are very safe here when you're trading with your RioQ bots with your Binance account. So let's assume you start a trade and robot starts to trade for you. The price starts to drop down, It will start to trigger those margin calls to buy cheaper for you, to buy the coin you are trading at a cheaper price for you, depending on when the price will start to reverse back up to an upward movement until it gets to the take profit before it will now sell. So it means that you are making money downtrend. So by the time the price drops down to minus 30% in the price, the entry price, from your entry price, the price fell down to minus 30%. It means that the robot will have used all your capital to buy that coin. Now the robot does nothing because definitely it won't sell at a loss. It will be waiting for the price to go back up and go and sell before it will leave the market with your profits. So the robot will never sell for you at a loss. Same thing goes to the 25% dip. When the price dips down by minus 25% dip, it must have used all your capital to buy that coin. After making money for a downtrend, when it hits the last margin call, all the capital you are using to trade that coin would have been used to buy that coin. depending on when it will start to go back up before it will start to sell again, sell, stop, sell, 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 until it finally sells and leaves the market when it hits the projected take profit. This is what this means, please. Take note about that. Take note about that. So let's move on to the RQTMI Magic Wand. For the Magic Wand, please look closely on my screen. You will see a boldly written statement here that says, RQTMI Magic Wand, minimum capital is $320. This means that if you have a capital of $320, you can use these settings to trade. But based on risk management, because we know how the market behaves a lot, we always recommend you to trade at least minimum number of coins should be 3, maximum number of coins should be 10. So let's assume you have $1,000 and you don't know if you should trade one coin with this $1,000 or 2 coins. No, what we are going to tell you to do is to divide this 1,000 into 3. Now let's head to my calculator. I think I have my calculator open somewhere. Okay. Now when you do 1,000 divided by 3, it will give you what? 333. This means that, oh, I can use $333 to trade 3 coins. Since we said, okay, trade minimum number of coins should be 3 and maximum number of coins should be 10, so that you not put all your eggs in one basket, because this is not anybody's market. The market is open for everybody, where the institution trades, retail traders trade. Retail traders are people like us. You and I are called retail traders. And also we have the institutional traders, those people who trade with big firms. So imagine a market that comprises of retail traders and institutional traders are trading in. The market must be manipulated in several ways. So that is why we are saying this is not a market that belongs to our father or our mother. Let's take note of the risk management so that we don't put all our eggs on one basket. So divide your capital. If you can cover for 3 coins, please go for 3 coins. If you can cover for 4 coins, go for 4 coins. But 3 is not bad. It's fine with this, your $1,000 capital. So you go with what? Magic Wand. Why? Because Magic Wand says minimum capital should be 320 and above. And you have 333, meaning yes, I can use Magic Wand. But how would you insert this capital to generate the settings for you? Please watch closely. Very easy. You see this place where we have remark? This place where we have remark, you see 313 there. When you open the template, you are going to find that it is 300. It was because I edited this before. So this is how you meet it, 300. But remember, we are to use 333 to generate the settings. The first thing you need to do is to subtract 333 from the first buy. Where is first buy? Look at first buy. I will explain what first buy means. You can see first buy says $20. So you say 333 minus 20. You need to do this for Magic Wand. Very important before you write the leftover capital. 333 minus 20 will give you 313. So 313 is the leftover. You come here and you write 313 where you have 300, where you have the green column. Tap on it. Then tap on edit. Then you write 313. Then you confirm. Then you can confirm if you are correct. If what you just did is correct, how do you confirm that? Just go down where you have margin configuration. Go down again where you have multiple buying ratio. You can see down below, it shows what? That you have 333. This is how you confirm that you are doing the right thing. Let's move on. Please, do you understand how I got the 333? If you understand, let me see you write 333 on the chart. If you understand how I got the 333, please let me see you write 333 on the chart. If you understand how I got the 333, let me see a 333 on the chart. Okay, awesome. Please, for those who don't understand, don't worry. It is a recorded session. But when it is time for question and answers, I will allow you guys to ask your questions. Just pay attention for now. All right, now let's move ahead, please. So now that you understand how I got the 333, The next thing to do is to go to your RoyoQ to impute these settings just the way you have it here. But I think the next thing I should do is to explain what all these parameters mean so that you understand what is happening when you start to trade with your bots. So the first thing here you see is called risk type. What is risk type? The robot has 3 types of risk type, which is radical, conservative, and steady. But the reason why we use radical is that we want the robot to be very aggressive in buying and selling. Okay, steady means slow, conservative means not too fast, not too slow, but what we use is radical. So that is why you have the radical there. I've talked about the remark. Now let's move to first buy amount. First buy amount, you can see here is 20. What does first buy amount means? First buy amount is the first amount that the robot will deduct from your trading capital to buy that coin it wants to trade for you, or you want to trade. So $20 will be deducted from your 333 when it triggers. Once the robot triggers, the first amount is 20 that will be deducted from your 333 capital in your Binance. Remember, your capital is in your Binance, in your exchange, or in your digital bank, not with RoyoQ. Open position double, don't enable. Yes, we don't enable this. Why? Because when you do so, it's going to be doubling, multiplying your first buy amount by 2. We don't use that. We don't need that. That is why we tell you don't enable. AI margin call, we also don't enable this. Why? Because we already have our margin call drop settings. So we don't need this. We have it already there as a manual setting. So we don't make use of AI margin call. AI margin call controls how it buys your margin calls for you when the price starts to drop down. But we don't use this. And for iPhone users, you may not see this AI margin call when you are saving these settings on your RoyoQ templates. So don't worry about that. The time when you want to trade is where you see it after you load the settings on the coin. Then you need to turn it off at that point. Take note about that. iPhone users. This is for Android users. You see it there, you turn it off. You guys will see it when I'm about to show you guys how to save it on your RoyoQ. Margin call limit is 20. What does this mean? It means the number of times it will distribute your capital to buy the coin it is trading for you at different price intervals. Just like you go to the market and you want to buy from 20 different shops, you want to buy products from 20 different shops at different prices. That is what you're telling the robot to do for you. Please buy for me 20 times, but these 20 times, it will distribute the capital accordingly, but depending on the price interval. That is what it means. Hold position take profits ratio. What does this mean? The way this robot is designed to operate is that you can choose to use a settings called the sub-bin mode real-time settlement. And when you're using this option, that is the option that makes your money downtrend. And remember, it is very good to have that option enabled so that when the trade goes against you, you enjoy making money on your sub sales before it will finally sell completely and leave the market. So by the time the robot buys the first buy amount, which is the $20 I told you about, then it buys the first to the fourth call. It takes all the positions as a single entity. The first buy amount, the first to the fourth call. So let's say $100 was allocated to buy those positions. It takes it as a single entity, which is $100. And when it is selling, it will sell the $100 and give you 3%. That is what we have here for the hold position take profit ratio, 3%. So 3% is for the first buy amount, first to the fourth call. It takes them, any amount that was used to buy those positions, it takes them as a single entity, as one. So when it is selling, it will combine everything and sell as one and give you your 3% or whatever you use there. If it's 1.5% or 2%, it will give you based on the total capital that was used to buy the first to the fourth call. That is what it means. Hold position take profit callback. Callback means retracement. Callback means pullback. Callback means corrective move, which I showed you guys on my screen. So when there is a pullback of 0.01%, This is what we are telling the robot. What do? You sell. But remember, cryptocurrencies are very volatile. You are telling the robot when it gets to 3%, please sell for me. But do you know that it can go beyond the 3%, making you more money? But the robot will not sell when that happens. It will be waiting for these settings, what you use here. Once there is a pullback of 0.01% in the price, it will quickly sell and give you the remaining profit it was able to generate for you. So sometimes you can make 3.5%, you can even make 4%, you can make more. All depends on the pump in the market. It happens a lot in the market. So you can see how powerful this robot is. Very powerful. Buy-in callback works for the margin call drop. The same thing similar to hold position take profit callback, but in this case, it is for buy-in callback. It is for buying the margin call drop. How it buys those margin call drop, which I'll explain when we get to the margin configuration. So it is the same thing similar, but in this case, it is for the margin call drop. How it buys the margin calls based on the drop in price. I will explain. You understand already. Now, let's talk about the distributed take profit allocation. You can see the 5th to the 20th call, it says use 1.3%. What does this mean? Remember, I said RoyalQ is designed to make you money uptrend and downtrend. But on the 5th call, downward is where it will start to make money for you downtrend. That is if you are using a sub-bin real-time settlement. And that is what we always recommend you to use. But when it buys the first to the fourth call, it takes them as a single entity. But from the 5th call, each one of them is single. 5th call is single, 6th call is single. Now, let me show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean on this margin configuration. First call to fourth call plus first buy amount, FBA, is a single entity. But from the 5th call, a single, 6th call, a single, 7th call, a single entity. What do I mean by this? It means by the time the robot buys the 5th call with a certain amount, buys the 6th call with a certain amount, and buys the 7th call with a certain amount, and the price starts to go back up. It went down like this. It starts to go back up. It will need to sell the 7th call first, return back the capital and profits it got from selling it, sell again the 6th call, return back the capital and profit it got from selling it, and sell the 5th call, return everything back before it will now finally sell the 4, 3, 2, 1 first buy together if the prices keeps going up to hit the projected take profit and leave the market completely. But what happens again if it goes down again? It will repeat the same process. It will buy the 5th call, buy the 6th call, buy the 7th call. When it goes up again, it will sell them. So you can do that over and over and over and over and over and over before it will finally sell. This is the power of margin calls, where you see sub-sells. You say, what is happening to my robot? It's just making money for me like what's it called? Like money printing machine. So that is how RoyalQ has been designed to operate. So when it is selling the 5th call, it will give you 1.3%. When it is selling the 6th call, it will give you 1.3%. That is what this 1.3% stands for. What about the sub position take profit callback? Same thing similar to the hold position take profit callback. Instead of 1.3%, there is a spike or pump in price. It goes beyond the 1.3%. RoyalQ will still be holding your position. It won't sell until when there's a callback of 0.01%, it will trigger and leave the market quickly with your additional profit made on top of that trade. So you see, you're making more money. So imagine a time or a moment where your robot is giving you 10 to 20 sub-sales in a day, or even more in a day. It happens a lot, especially when the market is very volatile for that day. So guys, you need to understand your business to know how this works. Now, the last here is what? One shot. Like I explained already, one shot means a one-time trade. Once it hits the projected take profit, robot will close the trade and leave the market, waiting for you to instruct it next on what to trade. Before we go on the last, which is margin configuration, Please let me get, if you're all on the same page with me, if you've understood what I've explained for now, let me see a yes on the chat. Yes on the chat if you understand what I've said so far until the point where we are. Please let me see a yes. A yes will just give me a good confirmation that everybody's on the same page with me. I want everyone here to understand how to make use of this template, please. That is why attending Zoom sessions here is very important. This is a skill set you're learning. You don't just put your money and you say you start, you go and sleep. No, that is not how it works. This is a do-it-yourself business. You have to learn how to do it yourself, and robots takes over from you. So you have to understand how to set your boats, and then robot do the remaining work for you. Simple. Somebody said he's not hearing. I think King Leonard said he's not hearing me. Please, if you can't hear me, maybe you leave and rejoin the session. It seems it is from your network, but I believe everyone can hear me loud and clear. I can see that already. Okay, now for the margin configuration, this is the engine of your trade. Why am I calling it the engine of your trade? It is because that is where all the distribution of your capital is being done. And on the margin configuration, we have two things here. We have the margin call drop percentage, and we have the multiple buy-in ratio. You can see margin call drop in percentage, multiple buy-in ratio in dollars. I will explain. For the robot to buy the first call, after the first buy has been purchased or has been bought, and there's a drop in price from the current or entry price of minus 0.2%, when there's a drop in price of minus 0.2%, the robot will trigger and buy the first call with a certain capital, not all your capital, because this is not the market that belongs to any of us. It is an open market. So there's a possibility of price coming down. That is why it will use the martingale strategy. It's not using all your capital to buy. It will allocate some capital behind for buying those dips. So once it buys the first call, there's another drop again in price of minus 0.5%. It picks again the second call and buys the second call. This is how it does until any point it gets to before there's a reversal in the trend of the market, before it starts to sell those open positions until it will finally sell and completely leave the market. Now, the multiple buy-in ratio, what does this mean? When it is buying the first call, how much would robot use to buy? Now, this is where the instruction is being given. You tell robot, for you to buy the first call, please use 0.3. Use 0.3. 0.3 of what? 0.3 multiplied by the first buy. So when I go to my calculator and see 0.3 multiplied by first buy, which is 20, you can see it is $6. So the robot will use $6 after using the $20 first buy. You use another $6 to buy, meaning it has used $26 to buy from your 333, which is your trading capital. And for it to buy the second call, it will use again 1.3. 1.3 of what? 1.3 multiplied by the first buy, $26. This is how it does over and over and over again. That is why you see here at the end, here we have what? 333. Because by the time you add up all this, you say plus 1 multiplied by first buy, which is 20, it will give you 333. You don't need to do all this calculation. The Excel sheet has solved all this problem. Gone are those days back then, 2021, where we want to trade, we pick up our calculator to start. No, AccuTMI understands the pain of people, and they've created this template for ease, so that for easy duplication, for you to be able to get your settings right without stressing yourself to go through all these calculations. You don't need to do all these calculations, but just understand how to impute your capital on that remark search column I showed you guys, so that you get the right capital and the right distribution of your capital on the margin configuration settings. All right, now that you understand this part, let's go to the RoyoQ so that I will show you guys how to save this on your RoyoQ app. So let me open my RoyoQ right away. Okay, that is it. Now, this is my RoyoQ app. And as you can see, if you check, bottom right of my screen, you'll find where you have mine. You find where you have mine. Please, you click on mine. Remember, we want to save the templates generated from the Excel sheet. Tap on mine. You go down to where you have what? You have my strategy settings. You tap on my strategy settings. It will open a page. Then what you need to do here is to tap on the plus icon. Some people say, I can't see the plus icon. Top right, please. You tap on the plus icon to add a settings. Now, what can you see, guys? You can see the same thing similar to what we have on the Excel sheet, right? The same thing similar to what we have on the Excel sheet. The first is risk type. Now, let's go to the template. What do we have on the risk type? Radical. As you all can see clearly, we have radical on the Excel sheet, which is the risk type. Now, we change this radical. Just tap on where you have steady. It will open up 3 options. Remember I said radical, steady, conservative, but what we use is radical. You tap on radical and you tap on sure. Now we have the remark here. Please take note. The remark on RoyoQ is not what you do on your Excel. Remark on RoyoQ is where you give a name or a description of your settings, so that you will not get yourself confused. Maybe you have 3 settings you want to save. Don't get yourself confused, or you have more than 1 settings already, but you want to save another settings. Please take note. This is where you give it a name. So in my case, I will say 333 capital. I can use default because I'm showing you guys how to use the default RQTMI settings. What do I mean by default? The settings that makes you money uptrend and downtrend. We have the default settings, we have the bold tactics category 1 and 2, but I want to show you guys first the RQTMI default settings where you make money uptrend and downtrend. When you understand this, then I'll show you guys the bold tactics category 1 and 2. But for now, we are on the default settings. Now, what about the first buy-in? First buy-in, it says use 20 on the template. You can see 20 on the template. So we go back and edit this 15 to 20. Open position double, don't enable, it is already turned off. So we leave like this the way it is. AI margin call is not turned off, it's enabled. So you tap on it to turn it off. You can see I just tapped on it and it has been turned off. Margin call limits, use 20. You change what you have there to 20. What position take profit ratio? Let's leave it on 3% as default, but you can change this based on what you want to use. If it's 1.5%, if it's 2%, you can edit this all the time. But the reason why we're using 3 is just as a default. You can edit it anytime you want to trade with the settings. Just load it up and edit it to your preferred take profit. Now, the what position take profit callback, like we said, 0.01. Margin configuration, let's do this to be the last. Let's do others first. Buy in callback 0.01. Distributed take profit allocation, you tap on it. You can see we have 1.3% down to the 20th call. And on the template, it says what? Here. Oh, sure. Sorry. Okay. Here you can see distributed take profit allocation 5th to 20th call 1.3%, which by default it is already 1.3% all through. So you have to do nothing here, just leave it the way it is because it is correct. You tap on sure. Now, what is the next year? The next year is what? Stop position take profit callback. You can see we have 0.3. On the template, it says use 0.01. So edit again. Let's edit again. Tap on it. You change it to 0.01. Please ensure you are using what you have on that Excel and confirm again before you save. For the strategy period, a lot of people make this mistake. They forget to change this to one shot. This is SECO, meaning autopilot. Instead of the robot to leave the trade completely, it will go back again and buy. And that is not what you're using for these settings. This settings is a one-shot settings, not for SECO or autopilot. How do you change this to one shot? You tap on it. Just tap on the SECO. You can see that is all. It has switched from SECO to one shot. Now, the last here is going to be margin configuration. Like I said, this should be the last. You can see it, margin configuration. Now, let's tap on margin configuration. Just the same thing we have on the template. We have multiple buy-in ratio, multiple call drop, margin call drop, and multiple buy-in ratio. Margin call drop and multiple buy ratio. Now, let's go back to the template, please. Let's go back to the template. You can see, same thing we have here, margin call drop and multiple buying ratio. First call, 0.2. Second call, 0.5, 0.2, 0.5. Whatever figures you have here is what you impute here on this margin configuration. So I'll edit this to 0.2, 0.5, 0.2, 0.5. I am going to stop here. But please, you need to input everything you see there on the template, fill up everything, all the columns here, make sure you don't make any mistake. You go back to the multiple buying ratio. What you have there on the multiple buying ratio, you copy and paste 0.3, 1.3, 0.3. We go back again to the multiple buying ratio on RoyoQ, 0.3, 1.3, 0.3, 1.3. Keep going until you get to the end. And then you go down and you save. You tap on shop first, then you save. Once you tap on save, it will save. That is all. This is how you save your settings. Then you can go and trade with the settings. I just want to show you guys how to save the settings on your RoyoQ back office. Now let's head back to the templates. Now that you understand how to make use of the Magic Wand, now let me show you guys how to make use of the Magic 3. You tap at the top, where you see those tabs, you tap and look for Magic 3, you tap on Magic 3, it will open the Magic 3 page. Now, this is Magic 3 page, and as you can see, it is boldly written here that what minimum capital for Magic 3 is what $100 and above. What does this mean? It means that you cannot make use of below 100 to trade with these settings. From $100 and above is what you can make use of to trade with these settings. So let's assume you have $300. Remember, risk management, trade 3 coins minimum if you can, if your capital can. So you can just easily say 100 per trade to trade 3 coins. If your capital is 600, simple, 200 per trade, you can trade 3 coins. So let's assume you have $600 capital and you want to use 200 per trade to trade 3 coins. How do you do this? Very easy. On this streamer column again, you edit it. But this time around, take notes, this time around, you don't subtract the first buy. Just how I showed you on the Alchemy Magic Wand, this is Magic 3. For Magic 3, you are not subtracting the first buy. Just slot in the 200 there without subtracting the first buy. And then you enter. You can see confirm if you are correct. How do you confirm? You go down and you check the multiple buying ratio. You can see we have 200 here, which is the total. So that shows you that you are correct. So you have nothing to worry about. Once you see you have 200 there, it means I am on the right track. Now, the next thing is to go to your RoyoQ to impute this just the way you have it here. Simple and clear. So this is how you generate settings for Magic 3. How about the Magic 5? Now let's go to Magic 5. Magic 5 is the best. Yes, it is the best, but the minimum capital for Magic 5 is $520 and above. So let's say you have $1,800 trading capital, and you don't know how many coins you should trade with it. Just go to your calculator. You see 1,008 divided by 3, 600. Oh, really? I can trade 3 coins with 600 per trade. Okay, divide by 4, 450. Oh, I can't trade with Magic 5, but I can trade with Magic 1. But Magic 5 is the best, so why not use Magic 5 to trade 3 coins? I repeat, you have a capital of 1,800. Okay, 3 coins will give me 600 per trade, meaning I can trade with Magic 5 because Magic 5 is $520 capital and above. Okay, how about 4 coins? Oh, 450. Okay, 450 means I can't trade with Magic 5, but I can trade with Magic 1 since Magic 1 is $320 and above. But Magic 5 is the best, they say. So why not I go with Magic 5 and I trade with 600 per trade? I will explain why Magic 5 is the best. Now, let's go back to Magic 5. How do you impute this capital since you now know that you can trade 3 coins in 600? The same way I showed you for Magic 1 is what you do here. You subtract the first buy from the 600. So when we say 600 minus 20 will give you 580. 580. Then you go back to the column again on the Magic 5, edit this, change it to 580. For me to confirm you are correct, go down. You see, we have 600. That shows that you are correct. Simple. And then you can go to your RioQ back office to save this on your RioQ templates. Why do I say that this is the best? It is because by the time this robot buys the first buy, first to the fourth call, plus the first buy, 50% of your capital is already on the trade. While the remaining 50% will be distributed to the 5th to the 24th call, because Magic 5 is 24 margin call limits. So imagine you are using 1.5%, whatever capital that was used to buy the first buy to the fourth call will give you whatever, that's 50% of that capital will be used to buy the first buy to the fourth call, and whatever your take profit is what you get in profit when it sells. So this is the reason why I said Magic 5 is the best settings to use. This is the RQTMI default settings. Now, let's look into the RQTMI Bull Tactics Category 1 and 2. When we say RQTMI Bull Tactics, it is another way, another strategy to make more money from the market. But there are some conditions that you need to agree with before making use of it, and you need to know before making use of it. And what are these conditions? For the Bull Tactics Category 1, it does not make money for you downtrend. It only makes money for you uptrend. But when it sells, let's say your take profit is 3% or 1.5%, it will give you 1.5% of your total capital, making you more money. This is what the Bull Tactics Category 1 means. But how do you now make use of the Bull Tactics Category 1? After you must have generated your settings with your capital, let's say you want to use this 600 with Bull Tactics Category 1. When you are saving these settings, make sure on the margin configuration, on the fifth call, because you are telling the robot, buy the first buy to the fourth call for me, but on the fifth call, please don't buy for me. Why? Because you want to use the leftover capital to do what we call manual replenishment. And when you do manual replenishment, you are adding the capital left over to the first to the fourth call, so it will now be one single entity. So when it is selling, it will sell everything together. That is what it means. How do you stop it from buying the fifth call? Easy. Just go to your margin configuration when you are saving these settings, edit the 0.2 and write 50%, because it will be very difficult for a price right now to go deep by 50%, so that it will not buy the fifth call. Maybe because this fifth call, this Magic 5, it buys the margin calls very fast, 0.2, 0.5. You might not see it when the trade triggers, and before you know it has bought the fifth call. So it's better to change this to 50% so that it won't buy the fifth call. And once the trade peaks the first buy, you can go and now do your manual replenishment with your leftover capital. You must not wait for it to buy the first, second call, or third call. No. Once it buys the call, if you're using Bull Tactics Category 1, you can now go and do your manual replenishment or manual buy. Now, how do you get the calculation for your leftover capital? There's a very simple math you do. Please pay attention. Very, very simple math. For you to do your calculation to know your leftover for Bull Tactics Category 1, since you are telling the robot to buy only the first buy, first to the fourth call, and stop at the fifth call, it means that you can go to your multiple buying ratio, you calculate. Now we are doing a small calculation here. Let me use my annotation again. You add up the first to the fourth call. You add up the first to the fourth call, which is 1.5 plus 5.8 plus 1.5 plus 5.8. Now, let me go to my calculator. Let's do the math together. 1.5 plus 5.8 plus 1.5 plus 1.5.8, I mean. And what did it give us? We got what? 14.6. We got 14.6. Then you say plus 1, plus 1. 14.6 plus 1 gives what? 15.6. Multiplied by the first buy amount, which is 20. So you say 15.6 multiplied by 20. It gives you 312. What is the capital? 600. 600 minus 312. This 288 is going to be the leftover capital. So 288 is what will be distributed from the 5th to the 24th call. So it is the 228 that you are using to do your manual replenishment, because by the time the robot buys the first buy to the 4th call, $312 is already allocated on the first buy to the 4th call. Then you now use the 288 to go and do your manual replenishment. And for you to do that, very easy. Once your trade is up and running, tap on the trade, you will see buy, you see sell, tap on buy, tap on buy, tap on market price. Then the column below, down below, you see where you input the amount. You write 288 and you tap on sure to confirm. Once you do so, the 288 will be manually added. And once the robot buys the first to the 4th call, your 100% capital is on that trade. And when it sells, it gives 1.5% of 600, or 3% of 600, or 2% of 600. Please, is this Bull Tactics Category 1 well understood? If it is understood, let me see 222 on the chart, please. If it is understood, let me see a 222 for the Bull Tactics Category 1. I am getting somewhere. So I want you guys to understand category 1 and 2. Then I'll tell you how to combine it with the default settings to maximize your profit. But understand this first. Then we proceed. Okay, I will answer questions. Not now. I don't want us to be distracted, please. I can see some people dropping questions. I will answer your questions. Don't worry. I'll give room for questions. Okay, let's move ahead, please. So this is how you use the Bull Tactics Category 1. How about the Bull Tactics Category 2? Bull Tactics Category 2. You are telling robot, make money for me downtrend to a certain level. Now, what is a certain level I'm talking about? The robot will make money for you down to the 10th call. It will buy the first call down to the 10th call. But from the 11th call downward, it will not buy. You are using the capital to do your manual replenishment. That is the leftover capital. So you are stopping it from buying the 11th call. So you edit this 1.87% or whatever you have here on the 11th call to 50%, so that it will not buy the 11th call. It will stop at the 10th call. But how do we now get our calculation for leftover capital? Simple, the same process. But this time around, we are calculating what? The 1st to the 10th call. Let's assume this is the 10th call. We'll add up everything. Whatever you get, you say plus 1. Whatever you get, multiply by 20, which is the first buy. Whatever you get, the capital allocated on that trade, which is 600 in this case, minus what you got, will give you your leftover capital. Simple. That is what you need to use to do your manual replenishment. So that is how you get your leftover. When it picks up the first buy, just go ahead and use the leftover capital to do your manual replenishment, or also known as manual buy. But Bull Tactics Category 1 makes you more money compared to Bull Tactics Category 2. Now, how do you combine both strategies to make more money or to maximize your profits? If you are trading 3 coins, for example, no, let that be the last. Let me show you guys how to make use of this for the RQTMI Magic 3, because the Magic 1 and Magic 5 is the same process. I repeat, Magic 1 and Magic 5 is the same process. The same way you are using it on the Magic 5 is the same way you are using the bull tactics for the Magic 1. Magic 1, you stop it from buying the 5th call for bull tactics category 1. Magic bull tactics category 2 for Magic 1, you stop it from buying the 11th call. The same process. But for Magic 3, it is not the same. Magic 3, since it is only 7 margin call limits, only bull tactics category 1 can work with Magic 3. And how do you make use of this on Magic 3? You are stopping it from buying the 2nd call. But the 1st call only is what it will buy. So from the 2nd call to the 7th call, the leftover capital is what you use to do your manual replenishment. So it means that on the 2nd call, you edit it and write 50%. You don't want it to buy the 2nd call downward, only the 1st call that it will buy. And how do you get your leftover capital? You can see this capital is $200 for this trade. You say 2.3. We're only calculating the 1st one because it's not buying the 2nd one downward. So we're only calculating the 1st call, the 1st margin call for the multiple buying ratio, which is 2.3. 2.3 plus 1 multiplied by 20. People will ask me, how do I get plus 1? Plus 1 is the 1st buy. You can say, you can do it this way too. 2.3 plus 20. You see the same thing. I'm using as plus 1. Plus multiply by 20 again. Or, okay, you see the same. We'll still get the same answer. 2.3 plus 20, which is 22.3. Multiply by 20. No. Sorry, guys. 2.2. 2.3 plus 15. First buy for Magic 3 is 15. Sorry, guys. First buy for Magic 3 is 15. Look at it very well. First buy for Magic 3 is 15, not 20. So take note. So you say 2.3 plus 15 will give you 17.3. 17.3 times 15. 17.3, 2.3 plus 15, which is 17.3. 17.3 plus 15 will give you 32.3. We give you 32.3. That's what I mean when I say 2.3 plus 1, then times 15. 2.3 plus 1 will give you 3.3. Then 3.3 multiplied by 15 will give you 49.5. 49.5. Sorry, guys, 49.5. So this is what you do. I repeat again, 2.3 plus 1 will give you 3.3. Then 3.3 multiplied by the first buy will give you 34.5. 34.5 is what you get. Then you now subtract it from the capital, which is 200. So you see 200 minus 34.5 will give you 165.5. 165.5 is what you get. So 165.5 will be your leftover capital. It will be your leftover capital. That is what you use to do your manual replenishment. Please, is this well understood? It seems I didn't do the calculation very well. 2.3 plus 1 will give you 3.3. 3.3 multiplied by 15, 49.5. 49.5. Then 200 minus 49.5 will give you 150.5. This is the correct answer, please. 150.5. So 150.5 is what you are to use to do your manual replenishment. Please, I stand to be corrected. I made a mistake, so I've corrected myself. 150.5 is your leftover capital. But in this case, when you are doing your manual replenishment, don't add the 0.5, just write 150. Forget the 0.5 and write your 150. This is for Magic 3, bull tactics category 1. Remember, bull tactics category 2 cannot work with Magic 3. Now, what I said I want to share with you guys, how to maximize your profits. If you are trading 3 coins, if you are trading 3 coins, please ensure 2 coins should be on the default settings, RQTMI default settings, so that you enjoy making money downtrend and uptrend, and 1 should be on the bull tactics category 1. If you are trading 4 coins, 4 coins should be on two coins should be on default settings, and 2 coins should be on bull tactics category 1. If you are trading 5 coins, 3 should be on default settings, 2 should be on bull tactics category 1. If you are trading 6 coins, 3 should be on default, 3 should be on bull tactics category 1. If you are trading 7 coins, 5 should be on 4 should be on default settings, and 3 should be on bull tactics category 1. Let's say you are trading 10 coins, 5 should be on default, 5 should be on bull tactics category 1. And for those who have patience, I repeat, patience, you can do it the other way around. If you are trading 3 coins, 1 should be on default, 2 should be on bull tactics category 1. But if you know you don't have that patience, please don't do it. Just use the normal way I said, 2 on default and 1 on bull tactics. Because some people say they have patience. When floating loss start to come, they'll start to complain, my trade have not sold, my trade have not sold. So please ensure you have the patience and you understand the conditions for bull tactics before you make use of it. So in this case, this will be all for this presentation tonight. I believe you all have learned a lot this night. Please, it is time for question and answers. If you have any question relating to what I've said so far, for those who joined us late, don't worry, this is a recorded session. You can always have access to this recorded session. Each session is being uploaded on the YouTube channel. So please go search for RQTMI on YouTube and ensure you subscribe to the channel. You get access to all the Zoom sessions that we have ever held throughout the community. Throughout we've been on the community with you guys. Everything is there. Okay, I can see somebody raising up her hand. I think her name is Olasebinka. Queen Olasebinka, please, if you can hear me, unmute your mic and ask your question.
Thank you very much for murdering my name. Ola Osebinka. Just call me okay. Oh. It's fine to just say okay. It's okay to call me okay. Thank you so much and well done. God bless you. My question is this: our RQTMI Magics. Is there any reason why we cannot use sub-bin mode? If we use sub-bin mode, what are the repercussions? Because this sub-bin real time settlement, I know that as it's selling and returning the profit and capital, it's also taking the fuel fees. Okay, so what happens if we use sub-bin mode instead of sub-bin real-time settlement, so that we can play it cool a little bit, especially if we are using big capitals on the fuel fees?
All right, I like your question. It's a very good one. Okay, is that all? Is that all the question you have to ask so that I can answer it?
Okay, so also the second question is, when we put in our first buying amount, is it a good tactic to change it? Like if I use big first buying amount, even with the Magic 3 or Magic 5 or Magic 1, like instead of using 20, I decide to use 50 for the first buying amount. And then when it buys the first time, I change the first buying amount to a lower figure that can now take in the calls, the margin calls. Is that a good tactics?
Okay, I love your question. So let me go by answering the first one. All right, so for the sub-bin mode, you know, majority want to see how much they are making, how much profit they are making, because if they are on sub-bin, it won't show you the profit it is making because it is not recording it until it finally sells completely. That's when it will now show you how much it made. And people don't like that. People like to see how much they are making. So sub-bin mode real-time settlement shows you how much it's making, but sub-bin mode will not show you because the profit it is making, it is taking it back again to buy again and make more money for you.
Yes, I think I like that.
So it all depends on you. You should be the one to decide. But majority want to be seeing what they are making based on experience. That's why we say always use sub-bin mode real-time settlement so that you see if it makes $5 for you, you see it recorded there $5. If it makes $10 for you, you see there it's recorded as $10. So that is just the difference between the two. I hope that is
so there
clear.
is no repercussion to the trade.
No repercussion.
Because
no,
I know that
on you.
In sub-bin mode, it will be giving us 0% profit while selling the sub-sell. That's okay because I know, I trust it that it will return my profit at the end of the sales anyway.
It's based on your understanding. You know, some people will panic at some point. That what's happening with my boat? I hope you understand.
I like to save the fuel costs.
Okay. It's okay. If you understand it, then it's fine. You can use it.
Thank you.
For no repercussion. Then the second question. Yeah, the second question, yes, you can also do it that way. You edit the first buy. When it picks up, you can now return it to the desired or the preferred or the default first buy amount. But the problem here is that you might forget. That is why you have to be careful when using that method. But the best method I feel should be the best to use. Once your robot picks up, you can at any point do your manual replenishment because it is the same thing. If you do your manual replenishment, it is also being added to your first to the fourth core position. And if it also buys the first buy with the amount you edited, it is still being added to the first to the fourth core position. So to be on the safe side, so that it's not going to start to buy more margin calls. Maybe you forgot to switch it back to the default or the preferred first buy amount. Why not just do your manual replenishment and you know it has been done and you don't have anything to worry about?
Okay.
Is that well understood?
Thank you. It's on. Then, sorry, please. When the signals are called, is it okay to use this? All these magic 1, magic 2, magic 3.
Yes, please. Yes, please. That is why you see that it is written RHTMI magic 1, 2, 3, magic 1, 3, and 5. And you see there's a notification there. You see sub-bin mode real-time settlement, the SMRTS is sub-bin mode real-time settlement.
I understand that. We use that because it's specified. I'm saying the random calls on platforms that are not RQTMI.
Because if it's a random, please, you need to understand which settings they are making use of. Do not use another settings for another signal. Always make sure you are using their own settings. So if it's RQTMI signal, ensure you are making use of the RQTMI signal because we have our own way we pick our trades.
Okay. So it's branded. Thank you.
Yes. Awesome. All right, welcome. Okay, I can see King Michael. Please, King Michael, you can unmute your mic to ask your question.
Okay, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Good evening, Coach Mo, and good evening, everyone. My question is on the whole warehouse modes. What is the difference between that one and sub-bin real time? Just want to know the difference.
Okay, for the whole warehouse mode, you are telling the robot, when you are buying those stop margin calls for me, don't sell them for me. Sell them at once as a single entity. Don't sell. Whole warehouse mode will not make you money downtrend. So it is buying the first, second, down to whatever margin calls it is buying, but it will not make you money downtrend because it will sell them once as a single entity. Unlike sub-bin mode real-time settlements, where from the fifth call, it starts to make you money downtrend, but whole warehouse mode will just be buying, will not sell until it gets to the projected take profit and sell everything once and give you profits. That is the difference with whole warehouse mode and sub-bin mode real-time settlement. So whole warehouse mode doesn't make money for you downtrend. it only keeps buying, and sell everything once. Is that clear? King Michael, I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it has answered, but I think it's the same thing. If the first one, if it's buying all and keeping it and sell the same time, it's the same thing. They will sell everything for you, Navi.
It's not the same thing. The time people are making money downtrend, your boat is not making money for you downtrend.
But it's keeping it.
It is keeping it. Some people want to be both making money for them. Even if it's $1, they want to see their boat is making money for them. So not everybody warehouse. It is only how you understand and your patience. If you understand it, that okay, buying for me, everything is fine, even when I'm not making money downtrend, but I know when it sells, it will make a lot of money for me. It's fine, no problem. Go ahead and use the warehouse.
That is what I mean. Okay. All right.
I hope it's clear.
It's very clear.
Awesome. All right. Blandine. Is it Blandine? Sorry, if I didn't mention your name well. Please unmute your mic and speak up. Blandine, please unmute your mic and speak up.
Good evening, Coach.
All right, good evening.
Hello. Yeah,
yes,
my question is, what advice can you give for someone whose capital is below $100? Which strategy can the person use?
Actually, for RQTMI, if you want to go with RQTMI, we don't recommend you to have below 100 because the minimum capital for RQTMI style of trading is from $100 and above.
Okay.
It's from $100 and above. But with the teachings, if you still want to use a lower capital, just know that you can make use of the bull tactics and just find how you can manipulate that template to use and then make use of it. You understand? Using bull tactics, meaning you can just use whatever first buy. When it buys, you do your manual replenishment with what you have left and you remain patient. But all depends on you. But if you want to go with the standard of RQTMI, please, minimum capital is $100 and above.
Okay, Coach. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Feedback, please. If you can hear me, let me hear from you. Let me unmute your mic and ask a question.
Good evening, Coach. Good evening, everyone. Mine is a personal question. I was introduced to LQ by somebody, and the person does not know how to set the royal queue, and it was abandoned for like 6 months. So I met someone who helped me in setting up the royal queue bot, and I have been trading with it. But presently, my royal queue is about to expire. That's in 2 days' time. But the issue here is that all my coins are on floating loss, and I don't want to continue with that person. I want to register under the person that has been helping me. How can I do it? Thank you. That's my question.
Sorry, network was breaking. You said your boat is about to expire, right?
Yes, sir.
And you want to register under that person that is helping you?
Yes, sir.
All right. You will need to create. Okay. For that, it means you will need to create another account. Okay. You need to create another account and leave that coin to be on your Binance. Depending on when the price goes back up, they can manually sell on Binance. Then you start a new trade on the new account you are going to be activating under that person who is your mentor.
Okay, sir.
That's the best way to go about it.
Okay, sir. I appreciate so much. Yes, it's fine for me, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. You're welcome. All right. Okay, let me go to, I can see 2 more people with their hands up, but let me go to the chat. I can see I have questions there waiting for me. Please give me a second. Let me scroll through and read out the questions one after the other. Spot has top margin call due to insufficient balance. This is a notice I received. Please, what does this mean? My capital is 100. It means you don't have enough capital to buy margin calls. So check, please check. You don't have enough capital. Maybe the capital is, if your capital is 100, maybe you don't have up to the 100 to be able to accommodate those margin calls it's supposed to buy for you. So check your funds in your exchange to be sure it is accurate. Then you remain patient because it's showing insufficient. But if you have more funds to add, just check. Something must be wrong. It's either your capital is not enough for you to buy margin calls, or your margin call have stopped working. So you check if it's correct, then you just go back and switch on your margin call. It will continue buying margin calls for you, in as much as you have the total funds to buy those margin calls. You have the exact $100 there for the bot to make use of. Now, sir, manual replenishment for Magic 3, I think it should be 0.7 plus 1 and 1.3 plus 1. Please check. I am using a capital of $200. $200 is the figures you have there for the multiple buying ratio. So what you have for multiple buying ratio margin call 1 is what you use to do your calculation, please, or Magic 3. I am using $200 as the capital. So take note about that, King Benga. Someone with a total capital for $100, which strategy can they use? Seeing that splitting it with $100, please, you can only make use of Magic 3. Only Magic 3 can work with $100, and you can only trade one coin at a time. One coin at a time with $100 Magic 3. Either bull tactics category 1 or the default settings. If you don't have patience, please just make use of the Accutemi default settings with your one trade at a time. Please, are you going to wait for your trade to buy from first to the 10th call before you can change it to 50%? No, you have to save the settings so that you know you have the settings for default settings and the settings for both tactics, either 1 or 2. Once you are about to trade, load that setting. If it's for the bull tactics 2, category 2, load it up, and you don't need to edit anything on the margin configuration. Just go and do your manual replenishment once it picks up your first buy with the leftover capital. Okay. So using Magic 3 as an example, when you say 25% dip, do you mean when the market goes down before going up, the floating loss cannot more than 25% of the whole capital? It means that by the time the price dips down by minus 25%, your capital on that trade, allocated on that trade, must have been used. Everything must have been used to buy that coin. Patience, or you open more Magic 1 or 2, remain patient until when the price reverses back up and go and sell. So you have to remain patient. How do I get the Magic 135 Excel sheet? Please request for it on the group where you get the link of the Zoom session from. It is going to be shared with you. Just request for it and somebody will share it with you on the group. Using Magic 3 as an example, when you say 25% dip, do you mean when the market go down before going up? I have explained this already. What is the best way to select the 3 or more coins to trade? Please watch the recording of this session I have explained. It is based on your capital, will determine which settings you're to use. And I said for risk management, trade 3 coins for default and 1 coin for bull tactics category 1 if you're trading 3 coins. Just rewatch this session again, you will understand better. For those of us who don't have the Accutemi Excel sheet, please request for it on the group. For Magic 3, after the market goes down by minus 25% dip and the allocated capital has been completely taken, what will happen if the market goes down beyond? The robots will do nothing. The floating loss will keep on increasing. But remember, you don't lose money here. Floating loss is the price that is showing you that it has gone down from the entry price. Remember, when trading here, units of that coin you are trading remains constant. If it's 2,000 units, it is 2,000 units. Just the way you buy 10 bags of rice, the price of rice dropped down. Does that mean you are in a loss? No. You still have the quantity of rice in your warehouse, which is 10 bags. Once the price goes back up, 10 multiplied by the current price is what will give you your value. That is what we are doing here. It is simply buying low to sell high, just the way a physical business is being done. That's what we are doing here. I hope it's clear. Okay, I can see I would need the Excel sheet. Please request for it on the group. You get access to it. Good evening, our able coach. Please, I'm new here. How long my first activation or robots will expire? Please, if you activate your bot today, it is going to expire after 12 months. It is a yearly activation, So every year you are to renew your bot. Okay, King Chris, if you can hear me, please. You've been raising up your hands with King Michael. Let me take King Chris first before King Michael. Time is no longer on our side. We are about to end this session for tonight. So please, I'll just take 2 more questions. So King Chris, please, you can ask your question.
Good evening, Coach Mo. Yeah,
yes, good evening.
I want to ask a question, like that manual replenishment. You know, like when we're discussing about okay, let's say the Axiom 3, where you have to trade with maybe $200 or $100, where after the first buy, then it will not continue again. So when trying to replenish, you know, by the calculation now, we must have used maybe about $30 or $45. Then we are balancing $50 by that calculation earlier on, balancing $150. When you want to do the manual replenishment, do you just replenish with the whole $150, or you do it bit by bit?
Okay, I don't know where you get.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. All right. So some smart ones we say, no, I won't do it immediately. Let me see if I can get deeper before I will now do manual replenishment. But with everything, you have to do with everything with the whole 150. But some people will say, I want to wait to see like maybe -5%, then I'll now go ahead and use the 150 to do manual replenishment. Maybe at least it will reduce the closing loss for me so that it will quickly sell. But what we tell you is to do your manual replenishment once it picks the first buy. But you can also do it anytime you want to. But ensure you do it before it sells, because sometimes you pick a trade, especially when the bull run comes, you see how trades will sell faster. You might pick up a trade before you even do your manual replenishment, it might have sold off. Okay, you get, so it all depends on you. Is that clear?
Okay. Okay, very well, sir.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. King Michael, please, this will be the last question for tonight. Please, you can unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. My second question is, somebody who does not have the time for the daily trading and want to do circle, what is the capital the person will get, and how many coins will the person trade?
Sorry, the first sentence somebody that does not have what?
There's someone who is so busy I cannot trade daily and I want to do circle.
Oh, okay. Let me drop it.
I want to trade circle.
All right, so you can check the charts, right? For circle autopilot, minimum capital recommend is 7. Sorry, minimum number of coins recommended is 7, and the capital for 7 coins is $3,675.
Okay.
Then we have for 12 coins, 6,300, and we have for 25 coins, 13,025. The reason we are going for 7 coins for you to see good results. But if you are on autopilot, don't go on autopilot. It's very risky. Better you have more coins on autopilot. But for AccuracyMI, we at least perfect. The reason why we 7 because 25. But for people say they don't have up to that 3, okay, say okay, they can trade 7 coins on autopilot. And the number of coins if you trade everything 25, which is the volatile coin, AccuracyMI volatile coins are 25 in numbers. It is from those 25 coins you are picking from to trade that 7, 12, 25. Average monthly profit is 5. What do I mean by 5 to 50%? First month. Let's say for the first month, the robot made 10% for you in profit. The second month, the robot made 20% for you in profit. The third month, the robot made 5%, and the fourth month, it made 0%. So the total capital is going to be 35. The total profit made is going to be 35%. So say 35% divided by 4 give you what? 8.775%. So that means that for that month, for every 4 months you've traded, robot made 8.75%. So we say on an average monthly profit of 5 to 50%. I hope it is clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
I hope it is clear.
It is clear. But which one is better among all this? Which one is the best?
It all depends on you. It all depends on you. If you have the capital of 13,125, you can make use of it to trade 25 coins. Just start with whatever capital you have, and you see the result you want. All depends on you.
All right.
Somebody said they can't hear me because it was echoing. Please, at what point you could not hear me? What point you could not hear me? Did the echo just start? Please, did the echo just start, or all this while you've been hearing the echo?
It was okay.
All this while, have you guys been hearing the echo? Okay. I just want to be sure if it was just now. Okay. So let me answer the question. All right. Okay. So let me re-answer his question. Now, he was asking which capital is the best to trade. Which capital is the best to trade? Is the echoing? Oh my. Okay, give me a second, please. Just How about now? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Let me mute him. I think the echo is coming from his end. How about now? Okay, yes, okay, awesome. I have to mute him. So let me re-answer his questions. He was asking which is the best to use for autopilot, and I answered. I dropped a list of the minimum capital he can trade on autopilot. And if you check very well, let me drop it again so that I will explain. For autopilot, minimum number of coins to trade is 7, with either $3,675, or you trade 12 coins with 6,300, or you trade 25 coins with $13,125. The coins we are referring to is the RQTMI recommended 25 volatile coins. You can pick from the list and trade, depending on your capital. And for profits, monthly profits, we are telling you that on an average monthly profit, you get 5 to 50%. What do we mean when we say average monthly profits? The first month of making use of the autopilot, your robot made 20% profits for you. That is month 1. Month 2, the robot made 10% for you. Month 3, the robot made 5% for you. And month 4, the robot made 0% for you. You say 35 is the total. 35% divided by 4 will give you what? 8.75%, meaning each month the robot made 8.75% for you. I am just giving you a breakdown on what we mean by the average monthly profit. Please, guys, is this well understood when we say average monthly profits? Is this well understood now when we say average monthly profit? That is what we are referring to on the script. So please, guys, for those who also need this, just save this somewhere. And then when you want to learn how to use this, you can just come on the Zoom session so that we show you how to set this up. We have done this once for somebody on the live session. So if you want this, just fund your account with this capital, recommended capital for autopilot, and then we are doing this for you. We are going to do this for you live on the Zoom. Okay, I can see a question. Coach, I'm trading 12 coins, but currently is 11 due to the one that is to be delisted. You will have sold that one just the way the instruction we gave. Sold, you will have sold, converted it to what we told you to convert to, then you can now pick another coin to make it the 12 coins. Same stick. I hope you can hear my answer to your question. Yes, some months, especially when your trades are on floating loss because of the market. Yes, it's possible you don't make profits for that month, or you make very small profits. But what I'm just trying to say, on a worst case scenario, because this market is, like I said, it is all probability and it's unpredictable. Anything can happen. But one thing you should know that here is that even on a worst case scenario, you can never lose money here. The only thing is just the waiting period. You remain patient and you wait for the market to recover and it will start making more money for you. And if you want to continue making more money, you open more margin calls with either Magic 2 or Magic 1. So thank you so much, guys, for your time. Time is no longer on our side. We are going to see meet here same time tomorrow. Please stay back and get the recorded session so that you can rewatch it again to understand better. So I would like to say bye-bye from this side. Good night, everybody.